Then I'd wear that power. Basically, I gave you to get this again. I say, oh, me, I'm right. And by doing you, I'm off my trade of my trade there. Well, on it goes away. Alas, I go that you and I will say you. Papa Mora, get you up with anywhere, Momba Sivole. L'arrangeur parmi national, très trop fort. Puis à club, mais on va essayer de sauver des joueurs. À moi, ça y faut. Bio. Do play you go back for mon Papa n'y guitare, petit, plateau fait sonner. Kaidaka. Bena baya posa gogo mambo panjago Apoblo akafoi Wa posa nyoka foi Be afonte mo mandi yo kwa kleju kiyen Nyonjo si mwe Posto tata tuyo kwe atrinyo di owo Emo o Nese tokan This is what go where they have been. Go on, yeah, I can't someday. Post to a cat tree of where I dream on the one. Emma, that's a token. Now, this is what go where they have been. Go on, yeah, can you get? Now, conquering your bed when I know sound fairly on it. Yeah, I do. Let's do what you just grab it to one. Say your book on ya. Are you an owl? Typo Bodaki, I know, and we say you over. I want to your family, I need a boy. And yes, I'm going to buy them when we get. Hey, my God. Am I gay? What I guess me, I'm going to end it the well. Oh. Bobo that piano and I will say you so like it up for when you never went. Netoni and you. Hey, are you? Obo just say, oh, yeah, I'm a walking about Kaidaka. When it goes to a jack, let you know your way. I just know. This is what I say. Say, Bobo, yeah. You like do I get more by one name on tele by Botamu, Kayada, Planning Papa, Pinagasia, Baka on Lage, then Pussy for that baby. There's no yes, you don't you can one. There's a Bob was a dressy, Mammo, Balibo, that Giano, and I will say you over. I will. Saibo. But you are going to do it so say. I just want to lay a but you are not going to see you okay. Wait, you, Saibo, and you didn't go from where John be from. On the Kriana walk like a but they did not. Just what I said. So, the one you're naturally found, let us play. Say. Bobo that piano and I will say you over. I'm not in it. Where are you? So away. I know Russell. They play Russell. South Africa, your fault, your way. And you're for you won't be and my one. I'm the Pope and Yagu. Don't finish it. I say, oh, Clavoyon. Say, if I can work with we are coming. Say, Bobo that piano and I will say you over. Aba pepo swero ni nde swero kwa munzo dumonje dota siko bala Kabo jo wase pepo swero muzo bluke Say ya re ase o baye ino Gen one day yeah Yo pample yo te mo day ya now Ariwo ase o baye Amo amora da o Saibo de piano and I will say you. I wish a rule of you, my Saibo, à serre. Is a mayo. That was the Yassi also won't go. Amora Junior la
Alors, il a fait un son pour Mobile Production.
Arrangé Eric Glodé. Le don de Dieu pour la musique de l'Ouest. Je te détesterai jamais. Jamais, jamais, au grand jamais. Mobile Production. Abia dia au bois. Amounia grand. Moi, te pierre. Piero momoye, moye, Piero momoye, ato Piero di awele, Piero momoye, ah Piero we, inda to Piero so pronounce ato Piero di awele, amosia o, moye, Piero momoye, mosa bosa iko momoye, Piero di mowere, mandoye mo, ah Piero di mowere, mandoye mo, Piero we, ah Piero momoye, Piero moye, Piero moye, Piero di avere ba, la poche io di avere, sono no giunembe, mo bli amado let's play, chiamo ne ci paglione, mo va già ci paglione, già, blevo nena cagno. Siabutiena, de kanywe, kanyon de koge, se perdu de ya. Piero momoye, moye, Piero momoye, moye, Piero momoye. Ogerwa, oyawesa, moye, chiblo, no pigeon boba, derbono. Ma boye bleye Piero we, Piero momoye, Mobile Production. Mobile Production. Assez au clano. Y'a regardé l'homme au côté. Piero momoye, Piero momoye, Piero momoye, Ericona, Piero moye, ah Chalicona, Piero moye, ah to Piero moye. Piero moye, ah, nous avons moins, vive comme nous avons moins, Piero we, ah Piero nous avons moins, Piero we, ah Piero momoye, Piero momoye, kayo pa de we, nembo kango, ah DJ, ah DJ we, ah mara DJ me o, ah o, Bumba kari de kwenye wake, asa o mande, Piero momoye, Piero momoye, ese sonia brutie, ase o. Mama sable ye Angela Wene, ye bobo pangla ye Angela Wene, nama bobo pangla ye Angela Wene, Angela Dio, macha pa ke yo, daria Dio. Moye Angela momoye, ah oh, mama mo kembra, ya mama kembra de, where you, ah, Jesus. when I'm flashing agia ajaro moye piaro moye 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 piaro moye moye ale moye
Baignon. Mon doigt au sobique, mon pauvre oignon, nous les gars. Mon vieux père de Michel, Tidio Bay. A faut pas oublier l'eau, Tao Benja, moi Awea. Mon pauvre oignon, nous les gars. Vieux Baya, à ce moment-là. Oh l'oignon, nous les gars, nous les gars, nous les gars, mon pauvre oignon, nous les gars. C'est mon dernier de la bagnon qui a point bien ça si on go. On way bao. Qui a pas mis mon bon on way à no way. Toi qui bien de gagnant lo ao. Mon beau à nous déjà, nous déjà, nous déjà, mon beau à nous déjà. Mon beau gagnant nous déjà. Qui a point bien ça si on go. Et à ça y a pas pour point appelez-vous. Pauvre nous déjà, eh pauvre nous déjà. Si à mon dernier bleu à bagnon, et vraiment bagnon. Pauvre nous déjà. Nous déjà n'aïe, j'ai pas d'agnon, j'ai n'aïe. Comme on blé, comme on way blé, tant si à mon bleu à bagnon. Et là que bah oui qui n'en a son bagnon, Sabina mon bagnon, ouais ah oh. Mon pauvre nous déjà, mon pauvre nous déjà. Mon vieux père m'a laissé, ok non l'inaké. Mon pauvre nous déjà, mon pauvre m'a laissé, nous déjà, mon yadjéo. On est comment on est non studio si hein. Qu'après oui nous c'est si on compte. Souba, Joe Baignon. Mon doigt au sobique, mon pauvre oignon, nous déjà. Mon vieux père de Michel, Tidio Bay. A faut pas oublier l'eau, Tao Benja, moi Awea.
Mon beau à nous les gars.
Vieux Baya, à ce moment-là.
Ah yeah, c'est
nous les gars, mon beau oignon, nous les gars. C'est mon dernier de la bagnon qui a point bien ça si on go. En way bao. Qui a pas mis mon beau oignon, ouais, à no way. Toi qui bien de gagnant lo ao. Mon beau à nous les gars, nous les gars, nous les gars, mon beau à nous les gars. Mon beau oignon à nous les gars. Qui a point bien c'est si on go. Oui, à ça y a pas pour point j'ai appelez-vous. Pauvre oignon nous déjà, eh pauvre oignon nous déjà. Si à mon dernier bleu à bagnon, et vraiment bagnon. Pauvre oignon nous déjà. Nous déjà n'aïe, j'ai pas n'aïe. Comme on blé, comme on way blé, tant si à mon bleu à bagnon. Et là que bah oui qui n'en a son bagnon, Sabina mon oignon, ouais ah oh ah oh. Mon pauvre nous déjà, mon pauvre nous déjà. Mon vieux père m'a laissé, ok non l'inaké. Mon pauvre nous déjà, mon pauvre m'a laissé, nous déjà, mon yadjéo. On est comment on est non studio si hein. Qu'après oui nous c'est si on.
One more, mon pauvre à nous les gars. Dada.
Jobaignon. Mon doigt au tout dit mon pauvre l'oignon, nous les gars. Mon vieux père de Michel, qui Jobay. A faut pas oublier l'eau, Tao Benja, moi Awea. Mon pauvre l'oignon, nous les gars. Vieux Baya, à ce moment-là. Pauvre l'oignon, nous les gars, nous les gars, nous les gars, mon pauvre l'oignon, nous les gars.
Ah, yes. Ah, yeah, Samson too. That's life. That's life. Good evening, folks. Samson too again. Oh, he had again to make a fool of himself, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to play the music later on. It's a very young, upcoming singer. And quite recently, my little sister, who is in Monrovia, she called me and said, I have this music. Can you play this music? She's trying to promote this young person. But it seems that this young person can really sing. I really like his song. Now, I'm going to be playing it here. I have two songs. And this one here is basically saying, look at the human behavior. Look at the human behavior. Who are these people? What are they doing? View their behavior and see who's doing right and who's not doing right. Poor Royan, no, they yeah. They Royan, no, they did, yeah. You go in your way. Job by now, wrong, okay? Sensible, kinda want to watch your come on down. Good evening, folks. I thought I'd twist you around a little bit. By the way, welcome, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Live again from Sacramento this afternoon. What is it, Wednesday afternoon? That's right. So let's do it. 18 July. Let's go ahead. I told you before I wasn't going to dance. But after Dr. Weir came up the other day and laid out the blueprint, as I thought was a wonderful thing, I thought I'll be dancing. Because if somebody said, this is what I'm going to do, and you have an open mind, you're the listener, you have an open mind, and give the person the benefit of the doubt, why not? Let's dance. Safety, folks, before I show you one picture of safety. The summer is being here now. I hope by this time you have good tires. I hope by this time your antifreeze are all taken care of. I hope by this time that your windshield wipers are all taken care of, especially for our brothers and sisters in Monrovia right now. It's bad, but I'll get to that. So I hope by this time you have all of these things ready to go. Your air filter all changed, because all of these things affect the air condition. If you don't have good air filter, you're on your own. So those are the kinds of things you need to take care of. I hope by this time they're already taken care of, because I've been talking about it for a very long time. I told you I was going to be doing some heat-related safety video and what have you. I'm going to still do that. But I'm in the process of relocating. And I love this relocation process. It's a wonderful thing. And now I drive to work. I leave the house 5 minutes. 6 minutes later, I'm in the office instead of an hour of drive. But one of the interesting things about this 1 hour driving here, let me be honest with you. It gave me a time to think about myself, to think about what is happening around me, to think about family members, to seriously think about my country. Because I have 1 hour's driving all by myself. So I think a lot about what is happening. Then when I get to work, of course, I put it in one side, put it in lock it up. Then I start thinking about the job. When I'm coming home, I put it back on. So over the last 8+ years, it's giving me some sort of an inside perspective Retrospective, that is, they call it. But I call it inside perspective. It's up to you, however you want to call it. But I'll call whatever I want to call it. Anyway, myself, my life, and the lives around me. And I think I've put it together from where I was and where I am now. Thank God. God is always wonderful. I thank God for that. But anyway, let's go on. Safety, safety, safety. So one of these days I will come up with this safety video. But if you have some old folks with you and it's hot in your area as it is right now in Sacramento, please, please do all you can to make sure you have water with them at all times. Don't do like what Samson do. You come out here with all these light bulbs shining in my face, hot like air conditioner, can't even do anything with me. Then I still don't have water to drink. That's not advisable, but I'm doing it because this is even when I used to play ball. I really never used to drink. One of the things, I won't eat before I go on the football field, and I will not drink while I'm on there. I don't know why, but if I drink, forget it. You're not gonna get any kind of production from me on the field that day. But anyway, let's move on. That's 2,000 years ago. Anyhow, let me talk before I get on with what is happening. Let me continue to show this picture. The reason, and I will continue to explain it. Maybe you will get tired of seeing the picture and get tired of the explanation. Here is Dr. Weir, both sides during the campaign. Now he's walking on a bad road, so of course, obviously, road will be on his mind. But I bet you he's also thinking, how do I get my people to get better things? To get better things. And so as he did travel all over the country during the campaign, during the election period, there are certain aspects of Liberian people's lives that is sketched on this young man's mind. And I'm sure he wants to do better, and he will do better. Now, I don't agree with the people that he has, his team members. He can play, but his team member, I don't have trust in the ability to perform. That's the problem that I have, and I'll be talking about some of them here tonight. Okay, so I want you to take a look at this picture, and then from this picture, let us all launch our thinking faculty from this picture. As we get into the discussion, as you sit here to condemn my conversation, as you sit there to agree with my conversation, let us all use these two pictures as a launching pad for us in this conversation tonight, because it's very important. It's very important. And these things can only come about if we all have a fruitful discussion that will make every one of us feel like we're part of the solution. You can't criticize and not suggest some sort of a solution. So even if people are not listening to you, but as long as you come on this type of medium to talk and people, one or two people watching you, whenever you say something is not right, say what you think should be right. That doesn't mean that your solution is the solution that people are going to take, but at least you're offering something instead of just condemning everything they do is not right. So what next? So just as we're getting ready to do this conversation here tonight, let us use this particular platform, especially these two pictures, as our launching pad. Samson Tour, let's get on with it. Let's get. I'm excited tonight. I'm excited. I'm all excited. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. I wanted to show some pictures, as you know, quite recently, the flood in Liberia. And this one I will go a little bit engineering. I will talk to you from an engineering perspective a little bit, at the same time from our own culture, because I can do both. I don't need PhD in any of the cultural library. I don't need PhD in that. Engineering, yeah, I don't know anything. So maybe I don't even have an associate degree. I'm just a high school graduate who did little drafting here and then call himself engineer. He's not a real engineer anyway, but I will talk to you about engineer anyway. No, on a very serious note. Let's look at it. What happened in Monrovia recently? I think yesterday and day before. I will tend to suggest. Now, I'm not there to do any kind of rain gauge measurement, things like that. But just from looking at the pictures, I would say that is what in engineering term they consider 100-year flood situation. Okay, you have 25, you have 50, you have 100-year flood. Okay, now wow, it's not playing with me tonight. So the 100-year flood is the mother of all flood, the mother of all rain. When it happens, places that usually would not flood will stop because there's nothing else. In other words, your level of water flowing down whatever hills is not as fast as it would be within 10-year flood because there's not enough. But 100 years, the more go, the more comes, and the equilibrium, the position of equilibrium becomes negative for the human being. The water is still flowing, but it's not flowing fast enough. And so what I'm just saying, I'm not there. I've not read any kind of how do you call it, rain gauge to say how much fell in an hour or something. I don't have those kinds of. But just from looking at picture, I would assume. In fact, I will run my big mother and say that's 100-year flood. But on a very serious note, I don't know that for sure, but I'm just speculating. Here in this country, those who are involved in planning these type of uh, flood and catastrophe, whatever all those kinds of bad things. People here in this country, they have planners, engineers. They plan for these things. Here's another thing here. Here in this country, when you do a new development, you have to calculate water share. You have a area that is going to be building all over. So the roof runoff, the main equation for that. Please forgive me. I'm just throwing that in there. Don't forget it. If you don't know it, that's fine. If you know it, thank God. The money equation is quite different. The money equation for asphalt, concrete, level ground is different. The money equation for gravel is different. The money equation for grass and weedy area is different. So here in the West, if you do these calculations, you put all of you separate them up. So okay, this area, people are gonna put new roof on it. So this particular square miles or this particular whatever area you have, square feet, whatever it is, you say I'm going to use this money equation because this is the type of position it's going to be in. Either going to be all roof or asphalt, how to call it, parking lot, whatever. But if you they say this is what it's going to be, then the money equation has to be applied when you're finding your Q. Okay. So what they do is this: they take all of those Q. Say you start from Crown Hill and you start going down towards Dew River. You separate certain part. You know Crown Hill, when you go into Crown Hill, when you're going towards Executive Marshal, on your right hand side, that is up going towards Slipway, it's all rocky and slope. So those type of things you're gonna consider differently. They have the position of all of those things. But you select the money equation that you're gonna apply to your formula. After you're done with all that, you find a Q for a specific area. You say, okay, this amount of Q, based on my calculation, this is the size of pipe that I'm going to use in this area. And it's all there. Based on your calculation, you can select the pipe. And when you select the pipes, as you're coming down, all of these pipes coming in, and the area, they call it junction box or manhole, whatever you want to call it. But I prefer to be junction box because you have all pipes coming in from different area. And they dump in there. And then a bigger pipe, because you have all the queue coming into one position. The bigger pipe take the water and take it to where you wanted to dump it. We don't have that in Liberia. If you watch the situation, and I'm not there, just from looking at the video, I'm not going to play the video, but if you look at the video, the area of, I believe, this Senko Old Road and Tottenham Boulevard, closer to the former president resident. You know, one thing I love about us, when it's not raining, it's sunshine, nobody pay attention to this kind of thing. Everybody running around Monrovia when they ready to ride their car, when. They don't even stop to pay attention as to whether that drainage system going to function when the rain comes. They don't think about it. Now the rain came. I don't mean to laugh, but when the rain show up, they wasn't expecting it. Public Works Minister, Deputy Minister, how do you call it? Environmental Agency. All of those people all very converged in that area and start discussing. Those are the kind of discussion that should have happened 4 or 5 months ago. Because as an engineer, if I was involved, I would look at, because I know the history of Monrovia and rain. I grew up in Monrovia. I grew up in Cloud Town. When it's raining, you take your pen legs, you put it all over your leg and take your shoe and put it over and walk. I know what the rain can do in downtown Waterside. So I'm not a stranger to this kind of stuff. And every one of those guys, they are not stranger to Monrovia. They didn't just come from Grand Cape County, come straight to America and go back to. Most of them grew up in Monrovia. They know the history of the flood situation in Monrovia. And to make it worse, if you go do some of the research on my video, I've been pointing this thing out. And that's some of the reason why you have some of the good Liberian engineers refuse to go home. Because I've had conversation with some of them before. And they will tell me, Mr. Toh, I'm not going. You go over there, you make plans after doing the design. These people are building in the right of way. You say if you want it, then the person runs straight to their uncle or their cousin who is the representative or some sort of senator, then they leave the people alone. Same other situation. If you go view the video in the area of how do you call it? Old Road and Tottenham Boulevard. The area where those guys were using shovel cleaning. That's supposed to be a junction box. If you face downstream, it's supposed to be a pipe that comes from the other side. And the little pipe is showed there, but the pipe it's not even enough to take anything. Most likely they didn't even do watershed calculation. Okay, water gonna come from over there. Okay, you put a pipe there. They don't even know what amount the queue that's supposed to be coming out of there, for which they're supposed to do a pipe selection. They didn't even do that. Because I can look at the pipe. How the heck you looking at the whole area? And you say you're going to only use 6 or 8-inch pipe. What sense does it make? Now, if you look at the other guy that was closer to I believe that's supposed to be a wind wall. But that whole area is so blocked. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what we do to ourselves. What we do to ourselves. It's unbelievable. This is a very sad situation. I saw a very intelligent, intellectual, who also happened to be an engineer, a public works minister, went over there today with no vac truck in the city of Monrovia, Republic of Liberia. They don't have a vac truck that will suck the dirt out of the hole. They don't have that. And you're talking about you want excavator. What are you excavating? First thing you need to find out what is there before you excavate it. You don't excavate under the water hoping that you will hit something and remove it. What happened inside the pipe? These are things that our brothers and sisters are not taking into consideration. I respect these people. They're doing their best. And I will show you a picture here very shortly. They're doing their best. But for goodness sake, these things have history. The flood that happened today, it didn't happen overnight. It's not like that place has not had flood situation before. But they never pay attention because they never come across the road. It never stopped them from going to work, or it never stopped them from going to whatever they want to go. Now the flood of 100-year flood shows up. Say, oh my God, we don't know what to do now. Then what do? Things that they're supposed to have, the discussion that's supposed to happen 4 or 5 months ago, happening now. They're blaming people who building without proper permit, people who are building in the waterway, people who are building over drainage, clogging the area, people taking tires, putting them over there. EPA were there. Talking about look at the kind of thing that people can do to us. Where were you? Where were you? These are some of the things that I keep saying to Dr. Weir. These brothers are very intelligent. They're smart. They're capable of doing it. But they're not showing us how much they want that job. If I'm in there and I don't want it because I can't even perform, that's the first thing. You put me there, you'll be worse than you people. But I just open my big mouth. But on a serious note, I've been telling you over and over, my brothers and sisters, anything you do as a group in any community, a certain segment of the community feel that they are not part of that system. They care less of the functionalities of that system. The facility that might be good for them, they don't even care for it because they have no interest. You have not made them part of the system. This is what I keep saying. Or you think, look, my people, sometimes they can just make me feel like I want to cry. Who in Monrovia that want to walk in the water to go to work? Who in Monrovia? Every one of those brothers and sisters in Monrovia want to live on a dry land. But you have to make them to understand the importance of having a dry land. Then you say, but so the people that are stupid, that's old people, they don't know what a dry. No, they know. But when you're driving, going to work, you don't even stop. They don't even see you because all your windows are all tinted. They can't see you. They don't know who in it. You don't walk around. The city that you grew up in, the city you used to go to EJ Raw walking, now you don't walk anymore. What is this? What is this? If we want all kinds of behavior, we could have gone to Europe and hire ourselves a government official to come and rule us. That way they don't have to step down. But you get out. Saturday, forget about it. I'm cleaning this. I don't even believe in that. Those are they call it R7. When you just want to show up because somebody there. You get up on a Saturday instead of going to Anthony Tottenham Stadium or the football field to go play football. Walk the street. And I know Dr. Weir, mommy, ma. What Ma, you're killing us. You will talk to them because that's who he is. Ma, the drainage, we all try our best to clean the place. Look at the place you're doing it. We ain't got money. We're suffering already. They think it's all for all of us. As soon as the president was here, he told the woman over there, said that we're dead in the place. Mama, you're not cleaning the place. That's how situation becomes developed. But they don't even see any of you guys. They only hear you on the radio or on TV. We're not solving nothing. Because as long as those boys that are selling in the street, they feel they are not part of the system, go up, come down, you're not going to improve the system. Because there are people living there. And people have behavior. And it is the behavior that you have to influence in order to move forward. Am I lying, my people? Okay. All right. This is Samson Toe, LIBERIA Public Radio. So let's go back to the flood. Okay. So the minister is saying that they don't have heavy equipment and what have you. Why would public work? Unless, as I've always suspected, if that's what it is, I always suspected that public work is a high-class construction management company. They don't do no tools. They don't do no design. They just there to shovel paper from here to there. If that's what it is, then that's what it is. But if it is an engineering entity for the Republic of Liberia that is supposed to be responsible for all engineering aspects of Liberia, then they're doing it wrong. My opinion. Go see Waterside. I bet you Waterside is worse. Because you have all the water coming from Mecklin Street going down. And then they store there over there, block the water from going to Dew River now. So they sit right there. You go to some of your city, the city you live in here in the United States, they got some areas that are lower than the sea level. But what do they still do? They put pump. And when it rains like this, the pump shoot the water out. And when you're driving inside, you don't even know. Sometimes they have those signs. They say the area may be flooded. They're giving you warning. But most likely, some of the area will be dry. And even if it's flooded, within 2 hours, it'll be dry because the water pumping it. The pump is pumping the water out of there. The Minister for Public Work went to an area and people using hands to remove debris. Minister of Public Work, how many dollars do we have? And you can't even afford a $20,000 pump. And I'm being ridiculous, $20,000 pump. Those places have history. As an engineer, in order for you to build something that will last, they have what they call as-built. If I'm given a project to build a road, first thing I know, okay, what are the other surrounding facilities? You see, this is how people learn. You don't just go and say, I'm going to do it right. No. The area, the soil condition. What is the soil condition? Most likely going to be the same. What is a similar facility that was put here some time ago? Let me look at the people drawing. Let me look at the people's way of thinking. What exactly were they talking about? What were they thinking? And then I go and read and find as-built, find project report. And based on the as-built of that area, it's okay. This is what they have. Then I start doing my own alternatives. So Mr. Toll want you to put a road from here there. So okay. So I talked to the material engineer. Said I need to put a road here. He asked the first question the person gonna ask me, okay, you want a facility here? Who's gonna utilize it? Oh, we're gonna people by how many people? Don't give me many. They don't go by people. They go by trucks. They go by car. How many vehicles per hour that gonna utilize this facility? Based on that, the material engineer we're gonna give me the structured section that will be able to withstand the weight of that road. Whatever material they're gonna go, whatever vehicle they're gonna go over the road. That's how you do it. Go stand over there this afternoon. They say, we don't public work, Minister of Public Work, we don't have equipment. We don't have even if it was me, I was gonna fix it so much or something. We have an equipment, but it's way in Bon County, so for us to get it here now, it's gonna be, but we don't even have equipment. Public Work, Ministry of Public Work, and when you go on their website, they have all the excavator lined up. And so what do? Samson Tour. Suggestion. I keep telling you, you don't just go blabber your mouth. You say something, then you suggest. First thing, Samson Tour, I'll make the people of Monrovia to feel part of the process and be a part of the solution. All of these communities that are being affected, they're crying because my people, where your think people stupid? Money business so high in Monrovia right now. Some of them ain't got food. Then they go and buy mattress. Then their mattress you think they're stupid? They want that mattress to get wet. They got no place to stay. You tell them, you come. You just have a meeting. You have a meeting with the community. By that time, you have already identified houses that are within the right of way. Okay, my man, the house you build over there, you're in the right of way. But I know you put money in this thing. But my people, I'm not trying for me to point him out to be a bad person. But the way you build that house, if it stay, you're gonna get all the other people in trouble. Because when the flood comes, your house is blocking it almost like a dam. Everybody upstream gonna be wet. So let's find solution. And let the community themselves suggest to this brother. Because you know the brother suffered to put that house up there. And some of them help the brother to build. Their sweat is in that building that you want to tear down. So let them come up with a solution. First thing, of course, they will want money. But you have to be honest with them. If you say, I'm going to give you $2, that $2 must reach that person. The $2 must not come from Samuel Doe, Samson Doe, then it go, by the time it gets to the man, it becomes 2 cents. What is that? Well, doctor, we are already promised, man, $200. By the time $200 get in, it becomes the 50 cents. So the people say, oh, these people are not serious. So these are some of the stuff that I'm talking about. Make the people in the community part of the solution. First of all, explain to them from an engineering perspective. They are not engineers, but they will understand common language of survival. There's no question. Every one of us wants to survive. But if you don't talk to them in the language that they were able to understand, the man who has all these old cars parked in the waterway, he sells the parts. But he doesn't understand that when the flood level, that they start carrying his part away from him, he will not make money. Because of his behavior, the money that's supposed to go in his pocket is going away. Making to understand the common language. Money. They will come your way. The Deputy Minister for Technical Affairs for Public Work, I read his statement this afternoon. We've been telling you people here, they don't listen. Are you kidding me? What do you think this is? A park? I've been telling you people, because you're not telling them the truth. If I come to the community, first of all, before I come to the community, I will make an announcement. I will make an announcement 4 or 5 days ahead. I'm coming for us to have a conversation. I'm not coming to condemn anybody. They are Liberians. And if I'm talking to them, I better talk to them with respect. Even if they're in violation of the law. Let me point out to them their violations. And say, according to this building code, you are in violation of this number. And have my building code with me. And flip the page. Even before that, I made copies and distribute the copies of all the violation that I, because by the time I get there, hopefully I will have all that information. Then when I start talking with proof in hand, they will listen. I'm not there to condemn them. I'm not there to say I'm going to demolish your market house, eminent domain. You do that stuff, you get people say, oh, okay, break my house. Oh, you finish breaking it. By the time you come out, they can't put another one down the other, put another one down the street. Because you have not explained to them effectively, properly, what their action, the result of their action, what negative impact it's going to have on the whole community. They need to know that. They need to know that. You have to have somebody who will be willing to explain to them. Don't explain to the people when everybody angry, especially when they flood like this here. The man guy mattress over here. Then you tell him, man, you been violent. You think you will listen to you? You will not listen to you because everybody is in the process of crisis management. They themselves trying to manage a crisis. You also want to manage the crisis. Now you want to blame somebody and you expect people to sit down and say you're doing a good job. Poor job. This is bad. We cannot continue to live like this. You have Liberians all over the world. The thing that really pains me sometimes is this. Liberian, young Liberian. So, I say, oh man, like something to forget about me. Don't even talk to me. But you have young Liberian, intelligent, people who have trained themselves in all type of areas and ready to help you. You leave them here. You can't bring Maya Shaw. Then man, what is Maya Shaw? You tell Maya Shaw right now. Let's go to a meeting. And the meeting gonna last 20, 30 minutes. Maya Shaw gonna go to sleep on you. Well, why? Not that he's not a Liberian, not that he's not able to do anything, but people like Maya Shaw, they still not be at the forefront. This is what I'm different with these people. Because if I'm in that position, I will be in a bike. And if I'm giving suggestion, my suggestion I will not demand that my suggestion be the only one to be implemented. Who are you? Liberia is not like what it used to be before. You got young Liberians nowadays. And folks, I'm going to waste it tonight. I'm going to waste it. I'm going to waste it. And whether you like it or not, I will waste it tonight. The young Liberians that we have, why you think we're having all these problems? There's an old saying, and that's why it might sound a little bit rude, but I got to do it because I want to grab your attention. Of course, people say, but something you could have used something. You yourself always say people should use different language. But this one, the crowd is speaking. So please forgive me. Our people say when you go pee, when you start pee and you want the phone to come up, you pee in the same spot. You don't start pissing, and then you think the phone going to come up. It will not happen. When you're cooking, those are from the countryside. Well, how do they cook? They got three stones, and on the three, they have 3 openings as well, and that's where they pass the fire hole. And as a result, when they put a pot on that stone, the heat, the fire, point to a specific area, and when they hit the pot, then it spread out. Am I lying? Knowledge. Our brothers and sisters, these young people, you're sitting there, you may want people to cry. These young people, languages all over here. They're making money. They're enjoying themselves. But those are people that could be helping. But this time, if we employ these young people, people who are capable, if we have them, we won't be having these kinds of problems. Because the competition is going to be there. The competition among these young people is going to be there. Not in a negative sense, but perhaps they will even come out. Say which bureau, which ministry going to bring out the most production in this area before the end of this month. That's how you have innovation. You got IT people all wasting all over here. There are some IT brothers that go from company to company. They don't even want to have a permanent job because they can make money. They don't need a Liberian change to come and make money. But every one of them want to serve. You pick a small group of people because you know them from 1950 something. And I'm being ridiculous. Open it up. Open it up. Don't go with friends, brothers, and sisters. Open it up. Those who are able to contribute, they will. If that, let them get out. Get them out. This is not a farm. Because you want people to produce. So the whole intent of you being president, the whole intent of you leading is to take this country from where it is now to another place. What's wrong with that? What are we getting? Every day. We're fighting one another every day. Every day. Every day since this election. This memorable election. When was the last time in Liberian history you see the sitting president, turning over to a younger president of the Republic of Liberia? When I was in Monroe, when I watched that thing from the stadium that day, I was crying because that was my first time. And when Dr. Weah got up to speak, I'm not even seditious. I'm a Liberty Party member. But if I will show you some videos someday, I was yelling. What did I say? 12 more years. And he was not too far from it because I was in a press pool. So we were very close. My bias came to pass that day. I was so embarrassed of myself, but I don't care. 12 more years because I was enjoying the speech. The speech the things he was saying, that's exactly what we needed in our country. And I started yelling. 12 more years. People up in the stadium were looking at me like, what kind of fool is it? The man even one day here, he said 12 more years. And I had my press bash on. No wonder why nobody came to me for interview. No, but I'm very serious now. I was yelling because I was so impressed. And here we are. Every day we're cussing each other. Every day. Nothing we're saying that is, you can be critical of people, but you bring in suggestion. I tell you again, this brother, even Deputy Minister Langley, he has Liberia at his heart. Even the minister, they all have Liberia at heart. I'm just saying there are things you're supposed to do. Don't wait until rainy season when you're in trouble. Because if you're in trouble, planning doesn't happen correctly. The only thing when you're in trouble, the only thing that happens correctly is blame. We're not short of blaming people. But when you plan, this is sad. The young mayor of City of Monrovia, Minister of Public Work, supposed to have that man visiting with him. Okay, Mr. Mayor, this week, let's go to Yawenta community and look at the people drainage and look at the people road and see what exactly, if time comes, if the president say somehow, okay, we need to put road here, so we'll be ready up again. You go over there. You're the man, you go. Forget about on weekdays. Just do it on Saturday. And start looking. You'll go to some of the community where our brothers and sisters they don't care because they have no interest. So when they put it right there. But if you see those kinds of stuff, you start making your round every week. My people, it's not helping us. Moria will not be clean by itself. Moria will not be healthy by itself. First, you start showing to them. Because of these kinds of dirty water we put around, mosquito come and sometimes get them malaria. Some of them will die. There's no medicine, no money. The way Dr. Weah came out the other day and said, this is the situation we have. Don't just wait until it becomes a crisis management situation. Explain to people. But some of the people that are destined to explain to us, when they finish explaining to you, say you tell you Tashoka and let me go back to the total. I'm gonna explain. The thing are telling you, you all know. The thing are telling you, your souls. The people, you don't. Then the man say, man, young man like that, how you will talk to me like that? So the thing said, let the people think, yeah. Then it become people think. Once it become people think, the issue will become ridiculous. Samson to Labron Public. I just thought that I'd throw this thing there this evening. So let me throw you another one. Before that, I promise I'm going to play this guy the music. Let me play one of his music here quickly. Okay. All right. His name is for Maurice. So let's listen to for Maurice 1 minute. Okay.
Suba, yo baño. Mon gua o to dikle, mo poblo nyo anu deja. Mon vieux père de Michel, ti yo bay. Apo pa obli wo, pa obeja, mo awea. Mon poblo nyo anu deja wa. Vieux baya, ase mo wema. Poblo nyo anu deja, mo poblo nyo anu deja. Saya se munde nyon pelo abanyo ke apon bi o se asinyo kon wo wa o. Anwe va o. Ke apon mi mo bo yan we akonu we ta kwi bian de kan yan ru wa o we. Mo bo wa no ni ja.
This is LPR. Sam Sinto, live on LPR.
Mo bo yan anu ni ja. Ke apon bi no se sinyo kon we. We asaya bra bo kon je ablewu. Poblo anu deja, poblo anu deja. Na si amunde nyo blelo abanyo ne evra no bonyo. Poblo anu deja. Nyo jere nyai, je abana nyo jere nyai.
Yo.
Kama we ible, na si amunde blelo abanyo o. Era ke ba wiki nyo na somba no e. Sabina mo bonyo we a o a o. Poblo anu deja. Mo po anu deja. Mo po evra anu deja. Mon vieux père m'a laissé.
Yes.
Mon pauvre
radio.
Mon pauvre m'a laissé à nous déjà. Mon yadjéo. Honnêtement, oui, on est dans le studio aussi. Qu'après, oui, nous essayons. T'as pris bien de cambier l'oua, ouais. Que gira au plat et moi. D'abord, il dit bien, c'est ça, t'es quoi, well, I know my public banyo with everywhere. They say, boy, they pull your blow. Mopo anunija, my book, my way, banyo anunija. Ah, papa, dénication.
Okay, Sam Sinto. This guy is called for Maurice. This is another hot topic that I'm going to be talking on here. This is a justice. One of the justices of the Supreme Court, Jana. Okay. I don't know where to start on this thing. We tend to bring out crisis when there's not supposed to be. There's a video that's going around. I wanted to play, but then I thought to myself, no, because the video is so raw, emotionally raw. I thought by me playing it, it's like trying to incite. So I'm going to, those of you that have it on Facebook, you can play it. Where I believe is one of the representatives. And he publicly stated that Dr. Weah need to be impeached. I'm not too sure from what position he's coming from. I don't know. But that's the statement. Things are not getting well. The justice, CDC members want him out. According to a story a few weeks ago, they want him out because they think he's corrupt. But when people do some real journalistic research and what have you, they find out that most of it comes about because he voted for the annulment of the election. They wanted to cancel election. And when they filed for that, he was one of those who voted for it. In fact, he was the only person. And the rest of the Supreme Court justices said, no, the election is going to continue. So they're saying that seditions are now trying to get him out. Before I go to this thing here, let me just I'm not an economist, but I'm a sensible person. So let me tie a little bit. I could be wrong, but I'll do my best. If I'm wrong, so be it. Doesn't matter. Again, Liberian dollar. US dollar, I'm not talking about it. Because the American people say they can come out anytime. We don't want to use our money again. That will be it. But the Liberian dollar that we pretty much have, I hope the government have control over. What do we have to back it? What kinds of substance do we have? Gold, silver, diamond, iron, or whatever, rubber, anything. Is that what we use to back our money? No. It's based on trust. And our brothers and sisters are not looking at it from that perspective. They're hurting all of us. Because now you're going to have to inject another crisis. You have the money crisis. You have the water crisis. Now you're going to have to inject another crisis. Self-induced crisis. You heard the emotion, raw emotion from this young man this afternoon when he was talking. That when they went to select a committee to look into this stuff, they were not even reasonable enough to blend it in. He said it. He said people from only sedition was allowed to talk. Nobody else. If you're not from CDC, you're not allowed. So he said then the president needs to be impeached. I'm sure when he went home, he regretted that statement. I'm sure of that because I have not seen any reason that will have Liberian to say Dr. Weah need to be impeached. In order for you to be impeached according to the Constitution, there are certain things that certain linkage that perhaps you must have poured apart. I don't see that yet. I'm not seeing it. I'm not saying it's not there, but for me, there's no reason. But my point is this. Why even touch this guy if he's corrupt? I think the Supreme Court, among themselves, they have rules to govern themselves. Because this is, for me, this is a last defense before the collapse, the total collapse of the society, specifically in Liberia. Because the corrupt behavior that is within the executive is unbearable. The corrupt behavior that is within the legislature is unbearable. Now, judicious, yeah, it might be. But for me, from what I watched the last time when they have the election issue, this for me is the last defense before the total collapse of our society. The money, we have no basic commodity, something to back it up. I'm going to use commodity, please. I don't even know that one. But nothing there to back it except for trust. If we're fighting among ourselves, the person you want to remove, most likely, you're not just going to remove him overnight. He's going to have to defend himself. He's a Liberian. So in the process of defending himself, the international community are looking at us. The trust level in our own community started eroding, just like the erosion process that is happening with this water all over Monrovia. So if we're not trustworthy as a people to govern ourselves, then exactly who are we? What do we want? What do we want? There's talking this man violated some old lady. If the woman feel that he has violated, the woman can take the legal action. You got some tough lawyers in Monrovia that can take the woman case pro bono. If you want to investigate him, do so. But you start throwing charges that somehow some man was violated, his right was violated, he sued, and the people say, the court said no, they're not gonna award, no, the court award him $1 million, but he injected himself, and therefore, where are we going with this? You think everybody just stupid? Sedition, lawmakers sedition. You got to give us something. While we're out here, every day some of us come on air, put ourselves out there to plead with our brothers and sisters to find peaceful means to have some sort of a resolution of whatever argument they have. Then you're coming with this kind of, I don't want to use the word, you're coming with this kinds of issues because you don't like the man the way he voted against you before. Why are we always bringing things that will bring us down? Why can't we find some positive thing? Dr. Weir and his people are trying their best. Now the lawmaker but bringing this kinds of stuff up. That's constitutional crisis you're bringing on, my brother. Because I bet you this man's not going to go quietly. He's a lawyer. And there are other Liberians who will find that this man will not go quietly. And they will turn to some sort of an argument that will not benefit us. Why do we even have to look for that? You can't find reason to even settle the economic issue in Liberia. You're piling things over crisis. Or maybe you guys love to live in a crisis world. Maybe that's how you function real. But some of us don't function like that. So I'm just telling you this afternoon. This is not something. Go on most of the major newspapers from Liberia. You'll find it in there. Okay. These are not things that if the men have violated anybody's constitutional right, the people can go to court. And I'm sure there are certain things in the Constitution that allow people to bring the justices to book. And even the lawmaker themselves can do that. But not with these kinds of things that I consider flimsy charges. Charges that will tend to polarize the society. For what reason? For what reason? If this is how we want to live, let's enjoy. I will be on here again at Friday and talk more. I don't mind. God give me life. I will come on air every day to be on air to talk about it. But the point about it is this. I just told you. You know what a vac truck is? It's one of these trucks they have for sanitary department here. It's called a vac truck. It's a big truck, and they have this pipe about 12-inch in size. They stuck it to the vac machine, and you put it in the hole, and they suck everything out. They don't have it in Monrovia, and that's why you have all these water situations. Because if they were to go around with a vac truck and clean some of these manholes and have a jet, how do you call it, hose, and shoot jet water into the pipe, they will clean it out, and water gonna flow freely. They don't have it. They don't even have a decent pump, and we want to remove our justice, associate justice of the Republic of Liberia, because he didn't vote in our favor. This is something that I'm once not in favor of it. But once again, this is a society. If that's what the people want, let the people have it. I'm just saying the process itself is flawed. My opinion. Samson Toe. Okay, let me move on to another subject matter. I was going to be getting out of here. Okay. All right, before I do that, let me go ahead and give you another music of this young man, because I'm not going to be here that long tonight. So let me give you another music of this young man. I think he would do well. I hope he'll be successful. Let's listen to this one. Okay.
International. Strega. Ejo de Pau. Entendez? Madi. Tiwa. Like it. Sheri Bramon boy.
Ah yes. Samson Toe. LPR.
Austin to say that the boy for your life. Marisa, we want to be abaya. We want to be abaya. Toby say, but we don't have one. Austin to Chijo, don't be a power.
Don't be a power.
Veto restaurant, Mondaleo. Come on, you're the radio. No, my password, man, with him. This guy was on as a player, so let's shitty Gilalo. Say, all of us with my own Veto, where I buy my own.
Ah, yeah.
What you buy that thing? Abaya. Jam on table, Abaya. We don't pay your table, Abaya. We don't pay your table, Abaya. We don't pay your Abaya. They don't say, they don't back.
Ah, yes.
Soon money went to Adulo. No problem, how much I went to Bata. And now I'm on a citadel. Santiago, boy, my lazy brown boy. You can not thank you, brown boy. Marison, you are pretty vegetable brown boy. Oh, at your Baja, when I say, we're out.
Samson Do. LIBERIA Public Radio this afternoon.
No problem, a problem. Name my way from the Halino way. Halino te way, Gio.
Yo, Jabai.
Je pêcherai champion. Le président de Paris, c'est Bloyonien. Mon way out. Atiabaya, we're blind man. Our président Cassie, Jerry Brown boy. Abaya, some boy, Malaysian brown boy. Cassie a toujours ma président.
Ah, yes. Exactly what look at that young man know exactly what I'm doing on my show. You hear what he's saying? I'm sorry, perhaps you don't understand crime, but if you were, I will help you anyway. You hear what he's been saying? Hold on, stuff. Oh, shoot. Come on, come on. Okay. What he's saying is this. If we want this town to be rocking, we have to respect each other. Atiabaya. Anchireño ho de clean que yo na pon ne ateño yalo. Ne tiaño ya anchireño where you will get out of it? Nothing. Insult does not benefit nobody. That's what the young man is saying. Let's respect each other. You might disagree with me, but let's respect each other. As a leader, you don't hold a bro behind your back every day, want to punch people. Let's respect each other. If you disagree with me, I must give you the opportunity to disagree with me. Let's respect each other. That's what the song is saying. I will come back Friday. Hopefully my sister will send me some more, and then by that time I will have information with her, and then she will give me the contact number. And those of you that perhaps want to contact this young man to make your CD or whatever, you can do so. I will give you the contact number. But it's new for you, Maurice. Okay, let me go on so I can close the show. I hope she's okay. Okay, I think she is. Okay, baby, I'm on the phone. Yes. Okay, I'll call her later. That's my daughter. She's on college campus calling. What else you think she's calling for? I want to. Daddy on the show. No, on a very serious note, folks. Let me once again. Let me put a number up here. Give me a call and see if you want to have any conversation. You want to be part of this conversation this afternoon. If not, I'm not going to be here that long, and then we'll be out of here. Folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, phone number 916-533-2048. Let me move these things. Okay. So give me a call. I'm only going to be here for another 10 minutes or so, and I'll be out of here. It's Wednesday. We still have to work. But on a very serious note, I think this young man music, I'm sorry that most of you that don't understand crime will not hear it correctly, but he just simply saying, let's respect each other. That's the only way the town will be bearable. That's the only way this town will be livable. If we respect each other. Because if we're fighting one another, who will want to live in this town? Nobody. So let's go back. Let's go back again. Let me recap. First thing, reason of me doing it, I'm not here to degrade anybody. But like I said, I'm not going to hide. If I see something that is not right as an engineer, if I see some engineering things that are not being done correctly, I'll point that out. I could be wrong, but I'll point it out anyway. But it's not the intent to degrade people. Because as I stated earlier, all of those brothers and sisters over there, they are doing the best. Because believe it or not, without them, Liberia will be down the creek. You understand what I'm saying? Then you say, but Mr. Todd, they're not the only people that can lead. No, they were elected. The government was elected. And what if the government decided to fold their arm? You're going to force them out? Your hands in the leopard mouth, and you slapping the leopard all day. Talk to the leopard. Ease out. So y'all can kumbaya. We love you. We love you. Give me a call. Because when I'm ready to go here, I'm not going to look back. I will leave. So let me play this other commercial while I try to read folks' comment here. Samson to LIBERIA Pub Radio. Let's see. Okay. Don't say people not they are not the only people. I told you again. Let me explain it again. These people were elected, and they want to fold their arms. There's nothing you can do until the next 6 years. So let's have that in mind. Let's be respectful to each other. Samson to commercial.
Everybody get our own hero. Down to Chichipoli. Let's go to A.B. Johnson. Mr. Bashira. Down to Ali. What's up? Tamaruma. Down to All Star. Welcome to all the managers. Tamahiro. 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 Yes, Tamahiro. I'm a hero, yes, I'm a hero. I'm a hero, yes, I'm a hero. I'm a hero, yes, I'm a hero. Some people got a hero to make their money. Some people got a hero to make food. Your hero is your hero. My hero is my hero. Because my hero. I'm a hero, I'm a hero, yes, 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 I'm a hero. Yes, they go to the show. What about your way? You know that money, DJ. Now we send go. See your fancy.
My name is Chef Africanus Nathan of Nathan Catering Service. We are a full-service catering team. We offer varieties of menus and services to fit your budget. Our services include wedding anniversary, wedding reception, birthday, graduation, corporate event, baby shower, holiday event, open house, family reunion, and many more. We cater not just in Jacksonville, Florida, but we've been in a lot of states in America to cater. We even went as far as Canada to cater. Our catering service is equipped, as you can see, we can handle any events. So if you are planning your next event, please allow Nature Catering Service to serve you. Remember, our customer satisfaction is guaranteed. And if it has to be catered, it has to be Nature Catering. Contact us in America at 904-414-0402. As we plan to open in Liberia very soon, you can contact us in Liberia right now at 088-6877-503. We love what we do, we cherish what we do, and believe me, you will love us when you give us a chance to cater to your next event. So let's start planning your event to make your day a beautiful one. Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
Oh God, you know,
Okay, folks. Samson Tour. 2 more minutes here and I'll be out of here. Before I leave, I want to show you something here quickly. This is a book that was written by General Prince Y. Johnson. What year was this? It's a copyrighter. 1991. All that dancing and then my back hurting and stuff. And this is the annual message delivered by Dr. Tava, 1974. And let me just bring her one more book. I got a lot of books here. This one here is very interesting. Those days, they call it Liberian Forum. Okay. This is the volume 2, 1986. When you talk about leakage, when you talk about people leaking secret from the executive marshal, a fool in a book. There's so many things people were saying to this guy. It's unbelievable. It's not just one person. Okay. There's a bunch of them. Ezekiel Pajibo and all those people, they are here. Yeah. Okay. So, but anyway, these are the kinds of books that I'm going to be reading from time to time, just to remind us that these things are not just today. These things been happening. What's wrong with us? Why is it? Think about it. Why is it? Don't put blame on anybody, but just think about it. Why is it that we're not able to get out of this hole we have ourselves in? This is my answer, my own answer. It's up to you. You can give up any answer you want, but this is what I think happened. Liberia, of course, been in the independent business for a very long time. But in its 50s, the young Africans, when they started going to school, they turned to magnetism. They became vibrant in their ideas. And we were not paying attention. For us in Liberia, all that meditation came to us in the 70s. And when they came, young Liberians gravitated towards it. They were eating it alive. Because it's like you have somebody covered up, and then all of a sudden you take the blanket over their face and they can see the light. That's what's happening. But those days, it was, as I stated before, you have the energy, focus on few group. And the group were highly qualified to educate the rest. The problem now, and the problem Dr. Weah and his people will continue to face until they realize that, is that just as they are, the people that are the main critics are all young. They're not waiting for Dr. Sawyer to deliver message to them before they know what's going on. They're not waiting for Dr. Farmlet to tell them what's going on. They're not waiting for Dr. Tipote to tell them what's going on. As I'm speaking to you right now, people in Monrovia watching and listening. So what I'm saying is, the head of this information gathering is like Medusa. You know what Medusa is? Look it up, Medusa. Okay? These big young people, they're all over reading here, there. And if you're not able to harness that energy to focus on things that you want to do and spread all out, you will not be successful. The Liberian young people, Liberian young people are sophisticated. In my own community, I don't know much about other Liberian community, but in my own community, the sophistication level that I face every day is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I just don't like to name names because I don't want to. Why you call my name? So I don't want to leave anybody out. But if I start naming Grangidians, intellectual Grangidians, if I start, and they're not anything more than 40, 45 years old, 50 the most. But these young people, the ideas that they have in our community, it's unbelievable. The question is, how do you have them to completely dissipate this high energy level? And since there's none of focus, my opinion, of people trying to focus on the specific thing, the energy level is so high, so they decide, okay, I'm going to get it out anyway. As a result, you have conflict of interest. But if you're a good leader and able to harness this energy from the young people and target it to a specific area, like a laser, and that's what a laser is. All the energy bouncing around, but if they have a mechanism in that machine that focus all of the energy to a specific area, and it becomes a laser, and the laser is very shiny, very sharp. Until we're able to recognize that as people, that our young people must not learn for nothing. As they educate themselves, we must give them responsibility to help us manage the affair of the country. I don't hear John Maloney anymore. Why? What happened? John Malone, the man who the international community during the early first turn or whatever, the international community asked him to go and help manage the affair, to be an auditor. Why is he not part of CDC? Confusion. So the unit man reply, the man is capable. Why he's not there to help you? You got young Liberians, highly trained economists that can help you. We're leaving them behind. We're going with Maya Shah. Maya Shah, don't get me wrong. For me, I have no issue with him. But he's just like Samson too. He's too old. Let's give him a mic. Let him come do the kind of thing. Lead the children. Help the children to lead us. Don't be involved. Don't be in the forefront. The other day, Dr. Weah, when you're on the forefront, Maya Shah there, and he ain't able to keep a line anymore. So that's the point that I'm making. I'm not here to degrade anybody. Let me get out of here. Folks, it's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. Samson Tour. I appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate your continued support of Liberian Public Radio. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time. I'll be back again Friday. Tune in tomorrow, Mr. Soul Show, where we're all going to gravitate towards that, and try to make some phone call. I will call in tomorrow. So Mr. So and myself can go at it again. We haven't had our daily activities for quite a while now. Conservative. I'm a liberal. I'm gonna go on his show and flap my liberal wings. He won't be able to clip it. He's gonna try, but he's not gonna be able to. Samson too. That brought up with the folks. It's been a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday afternoon. Thank you very much. We appreciate your continued support. Please continue to support us. Before I leave, you heard Mr. So last Wednesday announced that very shortly here, Liberia Public Radio will be broadcasting, just as I'm doing that, live from Monrovia, because we're giving the green light now. We already have the equipment, the money is already spent, so we're ready to go on, and it'll be spectacular. And I will ask you to tune in and join us and see, even if it was a while, and see if it's something that you want to pay attention to. If not, give us a suggestion. How you want this thing to, how do you want us to improve it? That's what we have you for, to help us improve the system that you like. The best of all. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Thank you very much, and let's do it again. Good night, folks.
mon amant. Hey, hey, mon amant. Hey, hey, mon amant. Ateito, ateito, ateito. Nalukio na kati ya Kinshasa mobimba mama e. Nabandi na foire fikine. Nakoti na sine paladume, nakoti na raki. Nakoti na sine palace, nakoti na Bellevue. Naleki na tipekae, nakoti na endetwae. Ateito, 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 ateito mon amour. Hey, hey, mon amant, mama, mon amant. Hey, hey, mon amant. Sambe aneito, nalingi oh mama aneito. Hey, hey, mon amant. Mama aneito, naponi oh mama aneito. Hey, hey, mon amant. Janine amelo, nalingi oh mama amelo. Hey, hey, mon amant. Elongi na yo ekati me monte manga na kolela. Hey, hey, mon amant. Loposo na yo esilisi na mayelenga na kolela. Hey, hey, mon amant. Sambe aneito, nalingi oh mama aneito. Hey, hey, mon amant. Sambe aneito, naponi oh mama aneito. Hey, hey, mon amant. Janine amelo, nalingi oh mama aneito. Hey, hey, mon amant. monama. Hey, monama. Hey, monama. Ateito. Nalukio na kati ya Kinshasa mobimba mama e. Na bani na foire fikine. Na koti na